Hey there! It's Christina from the Glaser Tutoring Company, and today we're going to be solving some system of equations by substitution. All right, so we have a system here, right? And we have to basically solve this by the substitution method. Now, when we're trying to solve a system of equations, all that we're looking for is a point, right? They might call it an ordered pair, but it's just a point. It's an x and a y coordinate in which these linear lines intersect. Now, I know that they're linear lines because for the x values, they're just one x, right? It's not x squared or x cubed, and the same thing goes for the y value. So I know that they're just linear lines, and when their lines cross, right? They cross paths one day, and that crossing of the paths is the solution. It's the single point in which that keeps this system together and interacted, right? So that's basically what we're looking for. But now, how do we do that by the substitution method? Well, in a nutshell, basically we're going to be taking one of the equations and substituting it in to the other one, right? Pretty simple. Now, there really is no, I don't want to say that there's obviously a right way, right, to get the right answer. But in order to do the substitution method, you have to change one equation into x equals or y equals. Now, at this stage, it does not matter, right? So you could take these four variables, whichever one you want, and try to get that equation into just an x equal or a y equals. But usually there's like some tips and tricks, right, that I like to give you. The first thing is that if you see an x or a y by itself already, like just a 1x, that's obviously the one that you're going to try to get x equals because it's just the easiest. But in this case, I got 4x, I got 2x, I got 3x, and 9x. I don't just have an x value, so that wouldn't really be the quickest way. Now, the next thing is then just use the numbers that have some type of similarity to each other. Now, if I look at the numbers here, a 4, 2, and then a 10, the 4 and the 2 look lovely, but I can't really divide these three values by a single number. But if I look at the bottom, I got a 3, a 9, and a 0, which, 0 divided by anything is just going to be 0. So I can make this work. And always go for the lower number. So what we're going to do, if I just call this equation 1 and equation 2, what we're going to do is we're going to take equation 2 and solve for x equals. So let's do it. Equation 2. We got 3x plus 9y equals 0. Okay, so let's get that x equals. We're going to push all this other stuff to the other side. So that's a minus 9y on both sides. And let's see what we get. We get 3x equals 0 minus negative, 0 minus 9y is just a negative 9y. So I'm just going to leave it like that. We got 3 in front. So let's just divide by 3 on both sides. This gets canceled. Wah. And now we have our x value. X equals negative 3y. So here's our x. This is what it represents in y. Now here's the thing. If you used equation 2 to do, your x equals or y equals, you cannot use equation 2 for the next step. Your solution is going to be, invalid. You'll probably get a 0, actually, and nothing's going to work. So if you used equation 2 to get x equals, like I did, you're going to use the other equation to actually substitute the value in. So now my equation for equation 1 is 4x plus 2y equals negative 10. Now we did solve for x equals. So find that x. Here it is. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. And instead of the x, we're going to input what it really equals. It equals negative 3y. And we do this because we can't have two different variables, an x and a y at the same time. So the x goes bye-bye, and the y's, or what the x calls for, says, hello, it's me. But anyway, that's basically what's happening, right? So let's go for it. 4 times, maybe I'll plug it in here, negative 3y. And there it is. The x now is this guy, because that's what we said before here. And then you just finish the equation. So plus 2y equals negative 10. Not really distributing here, but, you know, we have to multiply this. So 4 times a negative 3y is a negative 12y plus 2y equals negative 10. Let's group these together. Negative 12y plus 2 is a negative 10y equals 10. Well, actually negative 10, right? Yep. Negative 10. Let's divide on both sides by negative 10. That goes bye-bye. And now we're left with one of the coordinates. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 is negative 1. All right, halfway there. So we know that the point, we know half of the piece of the puzzle, that the y value is negative 1. Now, the next thing is use whatever equation you want to use. You could use 1, you could use 2, whichever one looks easiest to you. And we're going to take that y value that we just found out and plug it into whichever one, whichever y value of whatever equation you want to use. I guess maybe I'll use equation 2 again. Just looks easier to me. So we're going to say we have 3x plus 9 times now the value that we just found out, which was negative 1. And let's go for it. 3x minus 9 equals 0, plus that 9 on over to both sides. The nines go bye-bye. We got 3x equals 9. Divide by 3 on both sides. And we get the x value, which is a big 3. So the point, the ordered pair that solves these two in crossing paths is 3, negative 1. So we have our solution here of 3, comma, negative 1. And that is the answer. And that's it. You did it. How does it feel? Feels good, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. That's all we got here. Hopefully this helped. Let me know in the comments. I try to get back to you as much as I can in my spare time. You know, when I'm up at, 2, 3 a.m. After these videos are done, right? So, yeah. Keep studying hard. I'm so proud of you guys. Thank you so much for coming here to, learn. We got physics and chemistry videos on the channel as well, so go check it out. And I'll talk to you in later lessons. We also opened up memberships. If you want to become a member to the channel and help the channel out a little bit more, obviously it's not obligated. But, if you wanted to do that, thank you so very much. And I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.